Welcome to our final Caversham lectures for this year. This lecture's genesis came about in the most unusual coincidence. I was staying in a motel in Otago earlier this year on diocesan business, and I picked up a magazine and discovered that Margo, who I've met several times, Ricky wishes for this regularly, is a famous person in the fashion world. So I reached out to her to invite her. You know, we've had some really heavy topics in the lectures this year. Wrongful conviction in the courts, the surveillance legislation, Anglican-Roman relations, so it's relief to turn because we really enjoy it. And speaking to somebody who is relieved that the gorgeous costumes he has to wear as part of his work uniform he doesn't like, I do sympathise with people who are bangs to wear silly Santa hats and things like that. It's good to turn one's attention to other kinds of gorgeous costumes, and we look forward to tonight's presentation.
Oh, thank you very much. Fashion's very serious, you know. And I do love your costumes. I always.
Matisse designed some of them, yes.
He does. So thank you very much for asking me to come here today, Father Hugh. Father Hugh said I could talk about anything I wanted, and I had to tell him what it's going to be. So I picked this project. It could have been a number of projects, but I thought this one's quite interesting because you might be able to relate to it, and then maybe next time we have one of these projects in Dunedin, you might like to come along and be a part of it. So Citizen Stylist is the name of the project, and it was started, I think you wrote a very great description of it, and the people that said that I started this because I was listening to students tell me that their designs were only for a museum or only for a catwalk, and no one would ever want to really wear them. And I would look at them and think, I could wear those. And other people that would be sitting with me would say, I would wear those too. Possibly I wouldn't wear them the whole way they intended, with head to toe, but I might wear the jackets with something on it, or I might wear the dress not with the whole shebang. So I tried to find a way that I could get the students to realise that people would wear their clothes. And the other thing that I heard all the time at the Idea Emerging Designer Awards was people like yourselves coming along to the awards saying, oh well, I go to the railway station to see clothes that I might wear, but I go to the awards and they're just so crazy I would never wear them. But you would. If you saw them up close and tried them on, you might actually wear them. So this was a way to link those two different parties together. The students that thought that nobody would wear their clothes, and the regular people out on the street who couldn't see the relevance in getting dressed up in some student clothes. So it's called Citizen Stylist. Hopefully this will work. So I had the opportunity to go to a school in Vienna called the University of Applied Arts, and that had an amazing teacher, head teacher, a person called Hussein Chilean, and we all know who I mean by that. And so I wanted to go there. There we go. And I thought this would be a really good project to take there. Of course, it's not really a great idea to take a project somewhere else where the English isn't the first language to test out a project, but that's what happened, so that's what I did. Oh good, it's on automatic pilot now. So this is one of the teachers, Juliana, when I got there, and one of the other teachers picked me up from the airport and said, this is a great idea, Margo, but we don't have a budget for models. And I explained to her that we didn't want models, that the clothes were for regular people to try on. And she said, but some are quite short and they're not all very thin. Fine, they'll all find something to wear. And the idea was I needed to find a place that I could photograph all of the students, and this is the place that I found that was out on a fire escape just near the studio. So it was after class had finished, so they weren't in class and they came along anyway, first, second and third year students. It's a 4-year course. The fourth years were doing something else, and put all their garments on the racks around the room, and really it was just about dress up. The only rule was that they couldn't wear the same person's, two of the same person's garments. So they couldn't have a whole outfit done by somebody, they had to mix them up. So what we found was, or what I found was that a lot of the students would pick the same clothes. Also, some of them didn't want their faces to be shown, so you'll see that there's a few ingenious face covering mechanisms. And quite a few of the same garments got picked up. So this tie-dyed garment that was done by a Japanese student was worn by many of the students. So he's wearing his own one there with some other clothes. And after the play, the dress up, the students mentioned to me that they never would have thought of doing that before, that they couldn't believe how much fun they had, and also that they hadn't thought of collaborating with any of the other designers and putting their designs together. So that was a real success. So we did that for the day. When they arrived, they filled in some forms that, of course, I couldn't read. The next day they had to come back to the university because I was going to bribe them with chocolate cake that I was going to make, muddy mud cake, and they had to come back and we had to go through the photos and select the ones that we could use for this and the ones that would be discarded. So the images you're seeing here today are the people that came back for the chocolate cake. The people that didn't come back for the chocolate cake, I couldn't use any of their photos. So that was a real time of learning for me. I realised I had to tie them all into doing whatever it is I wanted them to do right there and then, that they were busy people like we are and maybe they wouldn't come back. A lot of these students are still in contact with me, and I have an Instagram account and Facebook, and they post things, and some of them have been out for the ID Emerging Design Awards earlier this year. So you'll notice that some of the garments are being worn by multiple people, and that was another thing that I was interested in, to see if there were any trends in the class. And there seemed to be a lot of blue used that year. This was quite interesting because it was the students wearing all their own clothes. However, I'll just zoom past a little bit further. That fantastic jacket, which was made out of thread that was stitched over a fabric called that washed away. So when it washed away, it ended up being like a self-made lace. Solvay, I think it's called. We said it already. So some of the other photos that I can't show you, I really liked, but never mind, you can't see them. And some more face covering.
Why is it they don't like?
They just didn't want to be recognised in the
I find this
photos.
bizarre that they don't like to show face. Really?
Even with a big long fringe. Yeah. So I think the next one was in Dunedin, or in a minute. Here they are, the ones that came to look at the photos. And then the next one was in Dunedin, and it was the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of December last year. And it was in the old fruit and veggie shop just up from where the Tip Top Dairy used to be on the corner of the Octagon. And that's Tamsin Cooper, who runs the, I've forgotten the name, it's an organisation that's right at the end, isn't it terrible? She finds vacant shops in town and we can lease them for minimum rent. So she found me this place, and I set it up like a shop, but a shop that you couldn't buy fabric, couldn't buy the garments, which some people found very frustrating, coming into a shop where you couldn't buy anything. But you could try things on. So we've got a selection. Here's some people that are in the shop. It's the back part of the shop, so the front part they had to fill in they had to fill in the form before they were allowed near the clothes. And they weren't allowed to ask anybody for any advice. So he's one of the students in the back that was helping me in this one. I realised I needed more help too. And people weren't allowed to ask advice, does this look right, this way? Sorry, can't say, you need to just decide yourself. So this is the space. Urban Dream Brokerage, there's a wee sign there. And we found a nice little space down the back of there to take the photos. It's one of the students dressed up and taking a photo. But this was the best thing. This is my favourite photo of all the photos, so I might go back in a second. This couple had been to see an opera at the Rialto Theatre on a Sunday morning, and then had read about the project in the paper and wandered round here and got dressed up and had their photos taken. This coat, I've got this coat here today if anybody wants to try it on. It's a beautiful tailored wool coat that many, many people tried on, with a picture of David Bowie screen printed on the back. She created the coat before he had died, so but just so happened that this happened after. And so all sorts of people came. This lady had come down from Wellington and read about it in the paper and was waiting at the door on the Saturday morning, waiting to get in. And that's the wife of the gentleman with the coat on. So you might know some of the people, but on the website I don't use their real names. They tell me what their nom de plume is. I'm going to go back one, because I thought this was really interesting. See that little jacket she's wearing? It's not a jacket, it's a sleeve, so we didn't tell people what the things were. And they were just on the rack, and we didn't say whether it's men's wear, women's wear, a sleeve, a jacket, anything, anything. So people just picked stuff up and then popped it on. But everybody seemed to wear it as a jacket. There's somebody else wearing it as a jacket. Hopefully I haven't mucked up the self-timer now. There we go. Somebody else wearing it as a jacket. And see the dress that's underneath Tanya's jacket there was created by one of the students who had a few things in this, and her garments were the things that were worn the most. So it was really great to go back to her and say, your garments were picked up by just about anybody, any shape, any age. They all really loved your garments. So it was something we didn't expect to find out, that it was like a survey as well, so we could see which garments people were drawn to. I'll go back a couple. And these little kimono jackets too. This is a reporter at the Otago Daily Times. You'll recognise him there. I made him try something on. You would have seen the photographer further down, David Lockery. He's also a very good writer, so you might read his writing. He writes short stories. Said if you're going to do a story, you're also going to be part of the project. And that these little kimono tops were picked up by lots of different people. So some of the people we knew that came in, some were staff members, but some people were just off the street. Like, this is one of my colleagues, Tracy, who came and tried things on, and everyone had a really fantastic time. And some of the garments did end up getting sold, as you will see in a minute. This is another person from the Polytech who must have tried on, I think she was the highest user of trying on. I think she must have tried on about 10 outfits. And the students really loved it when I showed them the photos. They had never thought of combining the different outfits. Also, I think they were pleasantly surprised that all different ages could wear their garments. And I just love seeing people actually interact with the students' clothes. So that fabric there is devore, so that's when it's burnt out, the holes are burnt out. It's printed in the design. Yes, the lady that.
Did she buy anything?
Pardon?
Did she buy anything? The lady came back from
She asked me to send you the details, which I did, but I don't think she bought anything. That was a very fun coat to wear because I only had one sleeve. It was really, yeah. I was hoping I was going to bring it today, but it seems to have disappeared from the storage office. I think I think the designer might have taken it back, which is a shame because it's lots of fun to wear. Very heavy and it's cashmere wool, so it's very hot. Not something you want to wear today, that's for sure. So people often combined the clothes that were there with their own things that they came wearing. This is an Indian designer who did a year with us last year, and that's all hand embroidered. It's absolutely beautiful with very chunky wool. That's my daughter, Greta's granddaughter. So I'm ready to come and take part in it too. Yeah, it's Gussie. Just enjoy some of the clothes as they scroll past us. That shirt that those people are wearing is made out of a netting, curtain netting that she screen printed. It's the same shirt, tied a different way. It's only dress that you saw before, the same way everybody wore that dress. She went around and bought one of those tops, the blue top that's underneath. They were for sale at Guild, but students are always selling things. Yeah, that's another one that lots of people wore. So do you know the shop Guild that's on Margo Place? Yeah. So that was Senorita was one of the really nice blue outfit. It's a great tie-dye and another wee kimono shape. And the tie-dye again. So I put the pictures back together for this section in the presentation, so I have tried to do a theme with colour coming through, so there's the tie-dye thing. There's Leslie again, and hi Lisa. And we have one of the designers who's wearing some of her classmates' clothes. So that little jacket, the dress is Senorita Simon's as well, and it's called negative cutting, so there's no wastage, zero waste cutting. And here we have the tassel top, which I have with me, because it's mine, which is great, and it's designed by another one of our graduates. It's really fun to wear, so people have lots of fun wearing that.
So it's all lazy cut Margo.
No, it's cut with scissors. Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely. That you can see it. So that is all a few different ways. It's one of Senorita Simon's things as well. That's a skirt that she's worn as a dress. But it can be worn any way. So I didn't tell people how to stand, but I told them where they get to stand. But they didn't do anything. Yes, and then my So I saw lots of different people photographed it, and then I thought, yeah, this is many different people. I think I need the dress, or I think some of the writing's fallen off. So Charlie needs to make all these dresses, I think. So please ask if you've got any questions, won't you? Hope you're enjoying the fashion.
So, Margo, can you please describe to me what style of clothes the shop guild has? What do they?
It has all sorts of things. Not only clothes. They have pottery and cards and prints and scarves. And
Oh, okay.
all sorts of things, but all made by independent designers. And it's so cooperative. So there's some of them are members of Guild, and I don't think they have to pay to have their garments or their wares in there.
Right.
And then they also get guest designers. So sometimes our students are guest designers. We had a student who's very good with leather work, so she had some bags in there a little while ago.
Right,
It's a funny way up, but I do have that in the car if anyone's interested. I don't have that though, I'm so disappointed. It's gone. It's a great outfit. So that's sheets that have been knotted together and dyed. Ideal for I'm not sure what, but it's lots of fun. Very, very heavy. There's Gussie again. That's one of Gussie's friends. That might be the last one on this lot, I think. And so the next lot of photos was in Sydney last week. So they haven't been edited back to just the few like these in a colour format yet. They've just been popped up there. And it's something that I wanted to see how it went in Sydney. And again, it was like the Vienna version, that it was students wearing students' works, that was great, because I think it's really educational for the students. But I really missed not engaging with the public. I think that's much more interesting. So I'm hoping that next year during ID Dunedin, we had one this year, but it was just very small, that we can have another one so that we can get public in to have fun with it. So this is the fashion design studio spot that I chose to take photos. It was, well, no, that's when I was looking. It was hard to find the right spot there to take them. Don't have any lights or anything. And there's one of the teachers from Fashion Design Studio modelling to try and find the right place to stand. Thinking about maybe that place. And then I think next we've got some of the students. No, another one of those. So Fashion Design Studios, there's a few schools in Sydney, but Fashion Design Studio I think is the best one, but I'm a bit biased because it's the school that I went to in Sydney. And it's down near the Powerhouse Museum, if you've been to Sydney. So this is the room, all the garments all lined up. And there was some beautiful work, beautiful tailored work. It's quite interesting to see the garments from the different schools too. You wouldn't expect to see so much winter wear at a school in Sydney. maybe so much summer wear to school in Dunedin. And it was a combination of first, second and third year students that did this. There should be some in a minute. Oh, Margo, really? There we go. So, again, wanted to hide their face. This is the tailored jacket that had the print on it. Go backwards by accident. This student had a couple of different designers' clothes on, which was really interesting. So he had that's a dress that he's wearing as a shirt, and then the tailored jacket as well.
Is that only half of it?
I think the rest is around the back.
Right, so it's got more than one sleeve.
Yes, yeah. You can see the bottom of the other jacket just there. He's pulling a face because his teacher came out and said, "That looks horrible." Oops. There we go, and then we've got a biker jacket. That's very funny. So she wanted to cover her face, but that isn't the same designer. The jacket and the mask are two different designers.
I never thought of them wanting to cover their faces.
Pardon?
I never thought of them wanting to cover their faces.
Yeah. There's another one covering their face.
And is that another garment they use it to do it?
It is. It's a skivvy.
So I saw the names.
Jacket again. Yes.
Oh, see.
So there's the jacket that looked like it had one sleeve before, both the sleeves this time. She's wearing it upside down. No. That's a recycled denim jacket. It's a whole jacket, not just one sleeve. And that's an incredible digital print jacket. It's very complex cutting as well on that jacket. And this is a draped top. That's the jacket that we saw before. So that was the last of the images from here, and here they are, the students filling in the forms for me. And here's six of them who were left to get the photo of them. Yeah, with the chocolate cake. The seventh one's disappeared out to the hallway. There we go. That's it.
So Margo, would it be fair to say there's much more imagination and energy and R&D going to women's fashion rather than men's?
Yes. If you look at international fashion, no. international fashion, there's probably more interesting menswear than there is women's wear, especially out of the UK.
What is that?
I'm not sure, and I don't know if it gets to the shops either. Maybe it's at the fashion schools that they're encouraged more to do menswear than women's wear. And maybe I see that because I see what's happening in the fashion schools and you don't see it in the shops, especially not in Dunedin. But the men's knitwear in particular is very strong.
Because in the young designers, the menswear, it's lovely, a lot of that.
Yes, yeah.
Really nice.
So you're talking about the emerging designers,
Yes,
aren't you sure?
yes.
Yeah. So, probably to go around again. How do I start again? Oops, sorry. Oh dear. So the Emerging Designers Awards, I don't know if any of you have been to that. It's been at the Town Hall for the past few years, and before that it was at the Eager Centre. There's a lot of really fantastic menswear.
Lovely.
So you have to come along next year if you want to see some great menswear.
Beautiful made too, absolutely.
We'll have to see the pictures.
What's that?
We'll have to see the pictures.
The pictures. Oh,
Of you buying trying out here.
yeah. Well, I'm hopeful that I'll get another Citizen Stylist happening during ID next year. So that's the first week of May. So hoping that we can find a venue through the Urban Dream Brokerage and then get it up and running just for a day. I think it will be the 5th of May, which is a Saturday. And hopefully people will come along and have some fun, because I don't know what you think, but I think that the photos that were taken in Dunedin with regular people coming in off the street were more interesting than the students.
You sound good.
Yeah, I thought that they were really great to see that.
That people talk in terms of centres of excellence, so things like the Dunedin Sound in the 80s and 90s and so on. Does, with this sort of thing and various digital hubs in Dunedin now, is there a sense that Dunedin is becoming a leader in design, not just in terms of fashion, but design generally?
Well, we're trying hard to make that be the case. I don't know that we could say it's the case yet, but that's our intention. And lots of people come here and want to work here because you can focus here, and there's a really good supportive networks here, which you might not get in a bigger city, because Dunedin's so easy to live in and to move around and to meet people.
And does it centre on the Polytech, or is it more widespread through the community?
I think it's more widespread through the community.
And Margo, your objective of getting the students to work to try each other's garments on, to get a sort of cooperative feeling. If a couple of students came up with a cooperative proposal for a collection, how would the school view that?
Every year I suggest it, when is this the year? This year, at the end of the year, so after the students at the Polytechnic had completed their collection, they do another project called Interdisciplinary 3, and this year 2 of them worked with a postgraduate student and designed some underwear for the postgraduate student. So that was collaborative. It was 3 of them really working on it together, which was great. It was a 1-month project, not as big as the collection, because you might not realise that Gwen's one of our graduates. She did a fantastic collection. It was ecclesiastically based. Did you know that, Father Hugh?
Lunches, they got a good change in school.
So this year, we have had just that small collaboration at the end of 3rd year. But I would really dearly love to see a bigger, more formal collaboration earlier. But sometimes design students really want to do their own thing and put their own stamp on what they're doing, which I understand.
Yes, there's elements of protectiveness of your own work, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. But but hopefully that will come with time. At the awards, we always get students from a school in Argentina, and there's always two of them because their collection is compulsory, but it's partnership, two students, so two of them always come, yeah, which is really great.
What sort of success rate do your students have in your area?
Depends what you call success.
Well, they can make a living out of it.
Yeah, I'd say they all go and make a living in some area in the fashion industry, but the stories we need to tell better is the wider fashion industry and what it involves. So it's not only being the designer for a company, there's pattern maker, there's a thing called a spec maker, so that's doing drawings and bundling, so there's all those things in the factory in all different levels. Design manager, and then if you go into buying, so you're working for a company and going to somebody and asking them to specifically make looks and then buying them. There's so many different areas in the fashion industry, so it's hard to say what percentage go and work in the industry. We did a survey probably about 5 years or so ago, and it was 80%, but I'm not sure what it is now. Many of them will go offshore out of Dunedin, so they'll go to Auckland or go to Australia. Lots to Melbourne at the moment. But we've got students scattered all over the world, in the UK and in the States mainly, as well as in Australia. But the thing we need to communicate better is the different options for them once they graduate.
So it's a 3-year course here.
It's a 3-year full-time degree, or 4 years for honours, or 5 for masters.
So what you started you off? As a teenager, as a child, you just, it was fashion, you were just, tell me.
Yes, I was determined to make my own clothes.
Right,
Yeah,
that's how it started.
Mum had a sewing machine, but she didn't know how to turn it on.
Shame.
But you had it, so I could take it round to... I could take it round to Mum's friend Mary, and she showed me how to make a beach dress that was 2 towels sewn together.
Really, that's how it started. How old were you?
No.
How old was she?
About 11 or 12.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And then I entered the Beds and Hedges Awards a lot when I was still at school, with Mum driving me to the NAC, it was at the time, to Korea, the package shop, meat, taping it up.
Mum saying, don't you ever do this to me again.
Until next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's just progressively how it is.
Yeah, so my role is an example of where you can go in the fashion industry too. So being a fashion educator and researcher. So my research is around this sort of thing. It has been in the past around 3D printing and using 3D computer technologies for designing millinery. But what I'm really interested in now is about the interaction between the wearer and the clothes.
Right.
So that's what really interests me. So when I was in Sydney, I wanted to find out what the language of how to describe what you're wearing is. I said they couldn't say it was nice or something. It was red. They couldn't wanted them to use more descriptive language, but it didn't really work out that well what I got back from them. But I take that on board that I need to figure out another way of describing it to the participants. Just trying to find more language for describing what it's like to wear something, rather than just relying on the visuals. Because that's only just, so one-dimensional. But that's how all fashion is critiqued on the runway. They never ask the models how they feel in it. Never. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is going to be asking people how they feel in it.
When I've been in Mediterranean countries like Spain or Italy, I've noticed that people are really, they wear their money on their back, so they're dressing well. In the street in Madrid, it's just a woman just looks stunning. I remember the retiring Italian ambassador in my time in Wellington got a lot of trouble coming his way when he said, New Zealand women are so attractive, why do they turn up to work in things like army uniforms? And, so that, I mean, it's a difference in our culture, isn't it? We don't get kind of peacock approach to what we might wear day by day. And,
No, we don't. We're
we're
much
studying
more
stuff
modest.
in the piazza in the evening.
Yeah, that's a real difference between us and the Mediterranean countries. Also us and Australia, really. Australians are quite often more the Mediterranean countries. They wear more exotic labels, so you can see what the label is, and it's like a car, I guess. It's your badge that you pay for this. But half the time they're knockoffs anyway, they're copies.
Margo, do you think one of the issues with New Zealand women is that sometimes we have some quite interesting garments, but we could often do with a bit of help as to how to put them together in a rather more creative way, whereas we tend to just put them on straight, as it were, whereas a bit more oomph might be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe, and I think a lot of it's confidence and going out wearing an interesting garment. You are going to get attention, and perhaps you don't want the attention, or are you going to blend in or stand out? I think that's a lot of it is that people don't want to stand out, they want to be part of the crowd, perhaps.
I mean, even in New Zealand, where children wear a uniform from quite an early age,
Yeah.
in the European countries they don't wear school uniforms at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they start off quite early being a bit more creative, I think.
Well, I've got some garments here, and one of them I asked the designer to send me a picture of how you wear it, and she didn't. So, I don't know if anybody came up with
You've got a model.
I honestly have no idea of how this one is to be worn. Because dear Frankie hasn't sent me a photo yet. Well, I guess that can either be for a hedge or another.
Looks like we sleep last week.
So she's made it from two different t-shirts that she's purchased and sewn together, but who wants to go? Anybody want to go? Oh, good.
Don't buy us or I'll be in trouble for your husband.
I don't know. It's quite funny when she doesn't see me. I don't know. I don't even know which way's up. I don't even know if it's a t-shirt. Do you think it's trousers? Oh, it's a dress. All right.
Put your arm through the sleeve.
You're good.
I've just got to gotta get your head through that. So you got one sleeve, haven't you? 100% sure that's not. Well, you don't, but that's yeah.
Take your picture of that one.
Oh, there's another sleeve down here, on it.
Must be in a hurry.
Well, your head's a
She's
It's in your arm and pocket there. That's asleep. Oh, that's
excellent.
You can wear it like flags.
Oh my gosh, it is so
It looks fantastic.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Right, very good.
Would you wear that?
Very smart.
I think it's probably the label of the.
That's exactly what, yeah.
Washing instructions.
It'd be quicker to shower with it.
Sleeves up in there, so much.
Anybody like to try on the? So this is designed by the same designer that did this dress, and she designed it for a fashion awards that was in Wellington that was going to be shown on the catwalk. So she wanted it like this because it would be on the catwalk.
The catwalk
It was the
here,
most,
excuse me.
yeah, but unfortunately the competition was cancelled and they changed it to photography. She was so disappointed because she said, I designed this specifically for the catwalk.
Put that on, Margo, on your front.
You put it on, Auntie Shirley.
No. I haven't got the flare.
So there's lots of ways it can be.
Yes, it's quite intriguing. And she comes out with scissors. Amazing.
Or maybe it was with one of those rollers.
Right. Oh, that's great. That's good.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yes.
On one shoulder like that, across.
Yes.
The short.
Here we go. You go with one.
Yeah, you should.
That's fabulous. Oh, yeah.
So that this print she did by putting chalk onto the
Yes.
she put on first. Was the base.
Oh, is that short?
Everybody, this is menswear.
No, I wouldn't do it just.
Oh, very
Oh, that looks great. Who's the shoulder like that?
Who's the tallest person?
Come here.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, you've got to capture it for everything.
I won't use it on the project. So would anybody else like to try this?
Yes, I'd love to, Margo.
Yeah, it's beautiful wall. Put it on.
Refer to your next exhibition.
That's nice.
Love it.
This is part of her collection of Brittany's collection, so she had 5 men's clothes. Different stages of a traditional tailor jacket, so she did this, but between the painted it all set, she was, so it was a beautiful, so it was all deconstructed. So I wrote the last one, she's more like a kimono/dress. Wow, fantastic.
Oh,
It's like lean lies.
Oh, it is like lean line. Where are they lying?
There's one down in the Gorman
Yeah.
Art Gallery and it goes like that.
Oh, wow.
I can see you guys. It looks
Oh, sure.
great. It's really
Exactly.
Very nice, the colour was too. It's dark navy.
It is.
Leather.
Yeah.
Suede.
It is.
Yeah.
It's charming.
So great. I have got a long coat, but it's a woman's coat, and it's cotton. It's just, I just love it. Or I really get attached to it. It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
I hope you come to the project when we have it again.
Oh, definitely.
I think when we do after seeing this, she may be slightly enlarged.
That's good.
Well, I think
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. It's dress ups.
was it May?
May the 5th.
Oh, you might bring it there somewhere in the calendar.
Yeah.
I understand the concept, just not the
Something else silly.
It is
Frivolous.
It is
Yeah.
That is okay.
I'll be home, you won't even know I'm here.
Well, Margo, I haven't seen an audience so absorbed in the subject material of a lecture in the series of the last 5 years or so. So you've got a grip to the interest of your audience and brought us on show and tell at the end. It's been excellent. And one way to finish the series, and thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come and talk.
And I feel emboldened to go to these fashion things.